Uh, Raj Sahib had great affinity for music, and he's had memorable songs. Uh, More than half the songs that were composed by him, which your Bua used to play on the piano, and I heard songs from him when I joined him in '68. I heard songs which he used in Bobby and then in Ram Teri Gangamati. They were with him from all that time. How is that going to affect you? Is the music going to affect you?
I think first speaking about his music, I think he was very lucky to partner with such genius talents, like Shankar Jaikishan, Lakshmikant Pyarelal, Mukesh, Lata Mangeshkar, lyricists like Hasrat Jaipuri, Shailendra. And I think they were truly close friends. And for them, making music was not work. It was a passion, so to work the entire day and then everybody used to come over and then they should just have their music sittings. So it was their way of parting. They really enjoyed that process. And I think Raj Kapoor was a very learned man, if it was literature, if it was music, if it was playing an instrument, it came very easy to him. So music has been such a big contribution to his career, and then over the years, I've often heard my father also say that music, if you hear today's music and you hear the music back then, there's so much of a difference in the poetry, in the writing, in the catchphrase of the song. Everything has become now like a reel, it's just a minute. You have a minute of a good stanza and that's enough. So it is kind of sad that, music in Indian movies is kind of dying. Excuse me. But I hope, I think music is so much a part of our culture, so much a part of our celebration. When we watch a Hindi movie, we want to see it all. We want to see action, comedy, romance, emotion. We want to hear good songs. We want to dance. There are so many filmmakers now that I speak to who are working in my generation who are saying that they are finding it harder to write a story where they can incorporate music, where the protagonist, both the leads, are singing songs. Of course, there are pros to it also, because today you can't have a movie based on a medical couple who are singing songs behind trees, so there has to be some realism attached also. But I really hope that, the music culture comes back, and we celebrate music like how he used to.
See, Raj Sahib, when he had these songs made, which I heard way back in '68, he did not know who the hero would be, who the characters. And one of the songs was from Bobby, Jhoot Bole Kawa Thate, something I heard in '68. Then I heard the one from Ram Teri Gangamati, Sun Sahiba Sun. So these were just songs created in which he finally found situations from. Come back to music.
I think another thing which I've heard over the years, that when he was making Sangam, one of my favorite films of his, he wanted to cast Vijayantimala, and her name was Radha, and she was not agreeing to do the film. So he sent her a text. I don't know what it used to be called at that time.
It was a telegram.
A telegram.
And that was...
Sorry? It wasn't a call, it was like a telegram.
It was a telegram he sent her.
So he said, Bol Radha Bol, Sangam Hoga Ke Nahi, like the word Sangam, and she sent a telegram back saying, Hoga, Hoga, Hoga. And that became the song.
That became the song. See, he would find any situation. But I must tell you something which is a little strange and a little funny about the songs. It's in my book. I think you've read it. At a song setting for Mera Naam Joker, I first time went for a setting, and there was Raj Kapoor, Shankar ji, Jaikishan ji, Hasrat Saab, Shailendra ji, Mukesh ji. So all these stalwarts, for me it was a great fanboy moment, seeing all these people together. And they got down to discussing the song. And, like all music directors have dummy words in a song just to get a sense. When Shankarji started singing the dummy words, I did not know if I should jump out of a window or I should, just bang my head and die. Because he sang the dummy words. Jitni maa bahan ki gaaliyan thi. If you could imagine, there was this man singing with all these maa bahan ki gaaliyan. And I was shocked, hearing that. और फिर डिस्कशन भी हो रहा था कि एक काम करते हैं, your grandfather, शंकर एक काम करते हैं, वो माँ की चेंज करके बहन की कर देते हैं. This is how they went, this is how, and they made great songs out of it. And your grandfather very fond of eating. I think that was in your family. Are you a foodie also, Ranjan?
I am, but in today's day and age, it's become an occupational hazard. You have to, it's a visual medium, so you can't let loose. So I've had my mother's side also, who's always kind of controlling. She's always, put it in her heads that you have to be healthy, and you look at your family, they have so many problems of, ailments and all of that. So I've really taken more towards my mom's side and father's side. Not out of choice, just because I knew that I had to be an actor and I had to listen to him.
Yeah, I've seen your father eating a piece of pav, putting a jalebi in that, butter and jalebi, and eating that, and I said, sir, what are you eating? He said, is it written anywhere that I can't? I said, no, it's not written, but it's not done. He said, there's a better way to eat it. And he dipped it in tomato ketchup.
I remember another story, I think, of Mr. Prithviraj Kapoor, when they all were staying together in Jimbur, and he had to be on a diet because he had to start shooting Mughal-e-Azam, I think, at that time. And he told my grandmother that I need to be on a diet. So give me some diet food. So she gave him a salad to eat, and he ate the salad. And after the salad, he told his chef to bring the real food because he's had his diet khana. Now he'll have the real food. So I don't think they understood the concept of diet at that age, that time.
But with your legacy, and I'm sure you'll make a very good film, I hope so. And you have the blessing of your father, one of the most gifted actors we've ever had. And your fourth generation, you're the fourth generation of filmmakers over there. 5 generations, your 4 generations have worked in a film. That was in Awara. Your great-grandfather, Papaji's father was there, Prithviraj Kapoorji was there, Dad was there, Shami Uncle was there, and Dabu Saab was there. So
also, Mr. Prithviraj Kapoor's father was the judge.
Yeah, he was there also, that. So we really look forward to this. And I think people would like to ask you some questions. But I'd just like to say one thing to everyone. This session is about Ranbir and his grandfather. So, let's not have anything personal.
There's nothing controversial in my life nowadays. So
anyway, it's open to whoever wants to ask him anything.
How do we do this? ये कैसे करें हम?
There's a girl there who stood up first. I think she's been standing through the whole session waiting to put her hand up.
Hi. आप उनको mic दे सकते हैं? Okay, we'll get to you. Let's just finish up. Hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm your. Hi Ranbir, this is Sanchita.
Hi Sanchita.
I'm a film student from Pune.
Oh, nice.
And since
What are you doing?
BA filmmaking, an undergrad course.
Nice.
Yes. So since you have went to film school and you have learned direction, what is that one movie of Raj Kapoor that you think you could have directed in a different way?
I would have directed every film in a different way, but all of them would have been atrocious. So it's not. But I think if I had to pick a film of his that I would like to remake, I don't believe in remakes. I believe that a film is made to its best of its capabilities and you should not touch it, and especially Raj Kapoor's films. But I would love to have a take on Shri 420. Like I said, it's my favorite film.
Hello, sir. Ranbir, sir.
Hanji.
Sir,
1 second. You just finish now. We'll come to you. 1 second. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, of course.
Fantastic.
My name is Nandita Parker.
Hi, Nandita.
I'm a former fund manager turned full-time ocean conservationist.
Wow.
And the reason I got here to this point is because I understood the ocean crisis as an existential threat to humanity. I really love the work that your grandfather did, your father did, and of course you. And my daughter's a big fan as well. One of the biggest issues that Gen Z is facing is this anxiety about climate change, anxiety about not being able to do anything about the environment. So when I look back at your grandfather's legacy, I feel like he really tackled issues that were front burner, difficult for people to understand unless they were done at a Bollywood stage, at a movie. And I'm asking you, are you touched by the ocean crisis? Are you touched by climate change? Are you touched with the disaster that we're making of our environment and of this beautiful planet that is our home enough to be able to make an impact through your films?
You know, ma'am,
That's the question.
I'll be honest with you, I am even more worried and touched now since I am a father and I have to think of, my child's life and what it's going to be for her after so many years. So yes, as cinema people, as artists, it's our moral responsibility, to make movies that entertain people. Of course, that's one set of movies. But also, I think knowledge is such a large thing that, we need to put out there. What can be done? What's going wrong? So many people don't even know what's right or what's wrong. You go on social media and you watch a reel or you read a headline and it can be very misleading. So I think knowledge is something that the awareness is very important, and if I can create any awareness for anything, not just, ocean related, for anything that will protect the planet, I think it's all our moral responsibility to do that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I have created a beautiful virtual reality experience on the oceans,
Okay.
right here in a white tent.
Okay.
It's India's first ever.
Okay.
I funded it and I brought it to India.
Well, that's it.
I would
we're
love
starting
for
the
you to
movement.
come.
I'll definitely
and
stop by.
You have to come and stop by, and I invite everybody. It's free. It's a huge investment. Please come.
Thank you. Thank you so much. हाँ जी, मैं आपकी आवाज़ सुन सकता हूँ सर.
Raj Kapoor sir's movies, like they're all very, very famous in Russia. What I'm asking is, at the time there are no subtitles, yeah, but the songs are very good and he was a hit. What was the reason he became a hit in Russia? Subtitles were not there. What attracted Russians to like them? Of course, the songs were extraordinary. All the songs were hit songs. I'm listening to the song from the age of 5, Dum Dum Digga Digga and all. So how it became success in Russia?
I think, sir, there are various reasons. Of course, music is something which always touches anybody. You don't need to know the language, as long as the melody, the singing. Music is such an art form that really, touches your soul. But I think also the characters and the stories he made films on, it's something which was universally appealing. Not just the Soviet Union, if it's Eastern Europe, if it was the Middle East, if it was Southeast Asia. I remember when I was a student in New York, I used to wait for cab drivers who were from Russia or Ukraine, because whenever they got to know that I was from the Raj Kapoor family, they gave me a free ride. They never took money from me. So I was always, I used to hail a cab and I used to first ask, where are you from? If he said Russia, I used to sit in the cab and start a conversation. That was his impact. Like I said, I went to a film school in New York. When they were talking about the Kieslowskis and all the filmmakers from around the world, they were also mentioning Raj Kapoor and Guru Dutt. So that was his impact, and his impact was only through his work, the movies he made.
Hello, Ranbir sir.
Hello, sir. Yes, of course, yes.
Yeah, Ranbir sir. Today we have got everywhere the part 2 like that and all. Was there any story for